Welcome, kindred spirits, to a place of positivity, passion, and purpose. Greetings, explorers of knowledge. Join us as we embark on a quest to understand 1985 Belgian Grand Prix. The 1985 Belgian Grand Prix was a Formula One motor race held at Spa-Francorchamps on 15 September 1985. It was the 13th round of the 1985 FIA Formula One World Championship. The race was the 43rd Belgian Grand Prix, the 31st to be held at Spa and the second since the circuit had been rebuilt and reopened at half its original length in 1979. The race was held over 43 laps of the 7-kilometre circuit for a total race distance of 301 kilometres. The race was won by Brazilian driver Ayrton Senna driving a Lotus out. It was Senna's second World Championship victory and the first of 5 he would win at Spa-Francorchamps. Senna won by 28 seconds over British driver Nigel Mansell driving a Williams FW10. Third was World Championship points leader, French driver Alain Prost driving a McLaren MP4. The win promoted Senna to third in the drivers' standings, and third place allowed Prost to expand his lead over Ferrari driver Michele Alboreto to 16 points. Originally scheduled to take place on June 1985, the Grand Prix was rescheduled for September after the recently resurfaced track became damaged during the race weekend. Now, let's delve into the intricacies of track surface and postponement and explore its various aspects. This was the second Belgian Grand Prix to occur at a reconfigured circuit, the Spa-Francorchamps, with the first being the 1983 race. Race organizers opted to resurface the track with a material called stress-absorbing membrane interlayer that intended to provide improved grip in wet weather conditions at a cost of £3 million. Fédération Internationale du Sport Automobile (FISA), the governing body of Formula One, was queried about the resurfacing work and replied it would approve if race organizers complied with a regulation that mandates any such work occur 60 days beforehand. Local bureaucracy and a harsh winter caused delays to the work, which were reportedly finished 10 days before the event's scheduled date of 31 May, and forced a cancellation of a pre-race test session at the circuit. Organizers did not refer the incident to the Fédération Internationale dels Automobiles and went ahead. Warm weather, the powerful turbocharged cars of the time, and their wide, slick tires, damaged the track during the Friday practice session. Repairs to the circuit were conducted overnight and undamaged turns were also addressed. After around 25 minutes into the Saturday practice session, all on-track activity stopped since drivers noticed the damage and held a series of meetings. One suggestion was to cancel the remainder of the day's activities, the Sunday morning warm-up session, and enter straight into the race on Sunday afternoon. Bernie Ecclestone, the commercial rights holder of Formula One, called every team principal to a meeting and told them to hold the International Formula 3000 support round on Sunday afternoon or it be the primary event. Drivers and officials inspected the track at 6 local time. Discussions continued until 7:30 local time, and drivers' representative Niki Lauda told the media that the Formula One race would be postponed. Jean-Marie Balestri, the president of FISA, was furious and summoned race organizers to the FISA executive meeting in Paris to explain the serious fault committed, and said that they will be liable to very heavy sanctions. The Belgian ASN was fined $10,000 and a provisional $100,000 bond to be deposited to FISA by the organizers would be returned in the event there were no further problems with the track on the rescheduled date. Ecclestone rescheduled the race to 15 September, following the Italian Grand Prix at the Autodromo Nazionale di Monza and the European Grand Prix at Brands Hatch. The race at Brands Hatch was later moved back by 1 week to provide the teams with some preparation. In the next segment, we'll be exploring postponed race and its implications for our subject matter. Because this was a rescheduled race, Formula One's newest team Haas Lola and their driver, world champion Alan Jones, who had their first race at the previous round in Italy, were not permitted to enter as they were not on the original entry list. During the build-up to the race, FISA President Jean-Marie Balestri announced that the controversial South African Grand Prix would take place despite pressure to cancel the event as part of anti-apartheid embargoes. Missing from the grid was an injured Niki Lauda. At the end of Friday's practice session before qualifying proper, his McLaren pub's throttle stuck open while he was only touring back to the pits. The car slid off the track on the newer section of track, and the three-time and defending world champion hit a guardrail, and on impact the steering wheel whipped around, wrenching his wrist as it did so. X-rays revealed no break, but Lauda was not fit to race, so he returned home to Austria for further inspection and treatment from his physical therapist Willy Dungle. McLaren initially hoped to put John Watson in Lauda's car, but this would have required the approval of all other teams. Mindful of the Constructors' Championship, Ferrari refused to agree, leaving Alain Prost as McLaren's only driver in Belgium. RAM was also down to one car, only bringing a single RAM3 for Felipe Alliot, and the 1985 Formula 3000 champion Christian Danner made his World Championship debut with speed. Prost took pole position, averaging 135.929 miles per hour, 218.756 km from Senna, with Nelson Piquet qualifying third in his Brabham, with Alboreto fourth in his Ferrari. Rain fell before the race, leaving the grid to form on a damp track with wet weather tyres for the first time since Senna won in Portugal. Senna won the start from Piquet, but the Brabham spun at the first corner. Senna led from Prost, Mansell and the two Ferraris of Alboreto and Stefan Johansson. The Ferraris were soon out, from a broken clutch and engine respectively. Meanwhile, Johansson retired after spinning off at the end of the Kemmel Straight on lap 8. Prost dropped behind the two Williams FW10 as the field pitted for dry tyres. Late in the race, rain fell again and Senna expanded his lead. Keke Rosberg dropped to fourth with a brief pit visit with a brake problem, and they finished in that order. Fifth had been Thierry Boutsen until his Arosa broke its gearbox. Piquet claimed fifth from Derek Warwick in a Renault Reb. Warwick scored the last point for the original factory Renault team. 12 cars finished the race, including for the first time a Minardi, as Pierluigi Martini finished 12th in his Minardine. A further two cars, Boutsen and the crashed Ligier of Jacques Laffite, were also classified as finishers. Hub Rothingatter's Acela Fay fell one lap short of being classified. Although the marshals led the cars directly into the pits after finish, Ayrton Senna drove around them and took a lap of honour. With the groundwork laid, let's now examine times recorded on Friday qualifying session before postponement 31 May 1985 and its connections to our previous discussions. Times recorded on Friday qualifying session before postponement 31 May 1985. Let's now venture into the realm of rescheduled qualifying 13 and 14 September 1985 and explore the fascinating intricacies it holds. Rescheduled qualifying 13 and 14 September 1985. Haas no driver constructor gap 1 to data sort value pro Alain Prost McLaren TAG data sort value Alain Center 212 data sort value Sen Ayrton Senna Lotus Renault 0.09737 data sort value Pic Nelson Piquet Brabham BMW 0.342427 data sort value Old Michele Alboreto Ferrari 0.715528 data sort value Joe Stefan Johansson Ferrari 1.2796 18 data sort value Bao Thierry Boutsen Arrows BMW 1.39175 data sort value and Nigel Mansell Williams Honda 1.4218 17 data sort value Gerhard Berger Arrows BMW data sort value 1.4649 11 data sort value the Elio de Angelis Lotus Renault 2.016 6 data sort value Rose Keke Rosberg Williams Honda 2.159 11 19 data sort value value Fab Teo Fabi Tolman Hart 2.28 to 12.8 data sort value So Mark Sure Brabham BMW 2.4 to 3.13.15 data sort value and Patrick Tambay Renault 2.799 14.16 data sort value or Derek Warwick Renault 3.101 15.22 data sort value Pat Ricardo Patrese Alfa Romeo 3.108 16.20 data sort value Vipir Carlo Ginzani Tolman Hart 3.4 17.26 data sort value Olaf Lafitte Ligia Renault 3.627 18.25 data sort values Felipe Strife Ligia Renault 3.939 19.23 data sort value G Eddie Chiba Alfa Romeo 4.06 4.29 data sort value Felipe Elliott RAM Hart 4.3 to 21.3 data sort value Martin Brundle Tyrell Renault 5.6 4.20 to 30 data sort value Van Christian Danas speed 9.75 3.23 data sort value Rotu Bradingasa Acela Alfa Romeo 10.47 24.29 data sort value Marpia Luigi Martini Minardi Motori Modani 10.701. As we enter this new phase, let's uncover the impact of championship standings after the race on our broader topic. Drivers' Championship Standings. Constructors' Championship Standings. Note, only the top 5 positions are included for both sets of standings. Thanks for being a part of this amazing journey. I can't wait to bring you more exciting content.